What are you two doing? Ja, Charlene Tifa. But hey everyone, and welcome back to another Thursday. I hope you all have your favorite drink at hand and drink in moderation. If it's not water, drink a little bit more. Then again, drinking too much water is not good either. It can actually harm you. I even read about someone dying about it. But we're not here to talk about dying. We're here to talk about reasonable waifu material. Matahari. That's gonna be interesting. I like Matahari. Badunkas. I mean, when they say like, "Oh, Jack, I like Jack the Ripper," like, oh, come on, we have these. We have left and right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh shit! Oh, what happened? Even though, she had lovely expression actually. I think that's cute. Though obviously she's not very similar to the real Matahari. Um, it's kind of funny actually. That's kind of cute. She looked kind of cute with a short, if the whole hair was short like that actually. But yeah, obviously then again most servants do not leak. What do I know? Maybe some of them leaks. I'm pretty sure Blackbeard leaks everywhere. I mean, he's have a big boat after all, you know. Hmm? I mean, when you think about it, is she literally wearing a bikini, pretty much, or underwear on the outside? Like, you know, these old comics, superhero Marvel comics and stuff like that. Like, they're wearing their underwear on the outside for some reason. I'm not sure why. But, booty! Booty, booty. That foot on that angle looks kind of awkward a little bit there. But I didn't know she had these kind of little things at her left thigh there hanging down there. That's pretty neat actually. Assassin Matahari Margaretha Gertrude Selle. Female in France, Germany. 165, 49 kilos. Voice actor Risa Taneda also voiced Kiyohime, Marie Antoinette, and was the first VA for Mashu. Oh, she was first for Mashu? Why did they change that actually? Did they want and Takahashi Rie sounds insanely familiar. That sounds really, really familiar. Strength. Oh gosh. All E until D and then A plus noble fam. That is really neat. But goddamn, those stats. Whew, pretty bad. Then again, I mean, she's not an ancient legend or something like that. And obviously, if we're gonna go by that, you know, it kind of like base many of the servants. Due to skill espionage, present consumer has been lost. Nani? Espionage A plus plus. Oh shit! Damn, that's lots of plus, man! The skill does not conceal one's presence, but rather makes the very present not feel like that of an opponent's. It causes misunderstandings, such as one being a familiar neighbor, a harmless pebble, a beloved person, and so forth. Since it's A++, as long as there is no indictment from her ally faction, it is impossible to perceive any hostility from her. However, the moment she starts to attack directly, this skill loses its effect. I mean, that kind of makes sense, you know? Like, oh no, it's not like an old game or something like that, you know, when even games today, you know, you shoot a guard and everyone is like, who's there? And then look for you for like 10 seconds, then like, I guess it was nothing. And they have like an arrow in their head or something like that. So yeah. But still, dude, that is actually insane. So I assume she literally can trick even the most hardcore servant and all of that. Because goddamn, pheromone bee, what? Pheromone bomb or pheromone boob, pheromone butt. Pheromone is a general term for a substance secreted ejected from the inside of an animal's body. Well, I don't want to brag, but I am a sex beast. And they cause an effect on the behavior, psychology, state of another specimen of the same race. When not even passing through as a beautiful courtesan, she can dissolve the awareness of men and women alike. And as long as she does not make a mistake in the approach of her conversation, she can probably even obtain information from innermost circles. Well, what about the squares? Huh? Are you gonna be discriminating against squares? Why is always the circle? They don't have any cool corners to hide behind. I can hide. But, dude, when you think about it, combining Pheromone B with Espionage AA, this is literally a super spy. I mean, seriously, this is like, my god. I mean, espionage is already insane because you can literally like, it is impossible to perceive an hostile from us. She can literally like, you know, blend it, and then she have pheromone to make it like, everyone is kind of horny on me right now, so, so like, damn, that is actually insane. Think about it. That's a very cool skill set. Matahari, the woman with the eyes of the day. Number target 100 people. Oh my. Matahari, Eyes of the Day, the realization of the legend called Matahari, a brainwashing noble fatwas. By means of bewitching dance, she forcibly paralyzed people's trains of thoughts. You don't need to do much to happen. You don't need to do that to me, I do that to myself. Ordinary people and masters are matter of course, but some who do not have mental resistance skill and are not under madness enhancement also falls under this noble fantasy effects. Regardless of the gender, a person who fails at their check will basically be Matahari's puppet. The effect lasts until the sun rises. However, because evidence of the noble fantasy being employed are not left behind, it can be even repeatedly used on the very same person. Also, in the case that person failed at the check even once, they will be a handicap on those check next time and thereafter. Damn. So, it literally doesn't work on people with madness enhancement, aka berserkers in general, and guides the rise. I guess it makes sense. I mean, madness enhancement, they kind of like already bonkers as it is. Though, does it mean that if you have the slightest mental resistance skill, it doesn't work? Or is it like, going by D&D style, that you can like resist it more, but rather than like instantly fall, you have a chance to like, oh no, you get +5 on your resistance roll. Because seriously, I mean, these kind of, when you think about it, she can target 100 people with it, and they literally become her slaves pretty much. It's actually kind of crazy when you think about it, and combine that with her already. Dude, I mean, considering these skills, I feel like her ability in, when we had in Salem, I figured she would. I feel like they didn't really utilize it really well, actually. Then again, they did lose, I guess, their servant abilities because, all that thing. But still, man, considering all of this, I feel like she would fucking could do so much awesomeness. Then again, she did die and didn't die. She was kind of like hanging around. Something like that. Personality. Exceedingly cheerful and maternal. Although appearance is in the late teens. Wait, what? Late teens? I guess that she was like 25 to 30 or something like that. I mean, I'm just based this on her sheer chest size. Then again, in anime, you can see like 10-year-olds with the bigger tits than... yeah. It's very weird. Having the looks of someone who's midway between a girl and a woman. And no matter how crafty she is being too, Madhar will treat one as a child if they are the opposite sex. However, said person shuns her own lack of fortune and her fate in regard to how fickle it is. Why? I mean, honestly, I know I'm whine ass about this, but my eye hurt for some reason. Probably. But why? What is this really like? she's someone midway between girl and woman, late teen. Like, uh, why? Why can't they just make? Why can't they just make her like a full blown adult, rather than being like, oh, she's like a kid or a teenager or something like that. Like, come on. Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I guess it's because their reason is that, oh, it's to appeal to younger gamers. But let's be fair. Let's be fair. Most that I would guess that most that play the game are of older. I mean, not that they are like 90 years old. They are probably those that do that as well. I will do that if I turn 19 years old. I will play games still. But you know, I will assume many are like at least 20 to 30 years old or something like that. So, yeah. I just find it a little bit weird, to be honest. Because, yeah. Maybe it's I don't know how old she was when she died and all of that. But, yeah. That is just, I don't know why. Why? Maybe it's just me. I will. Motivation attitude towards the master. Madahari is devoted to her master, but she can say with confidence that, from her position, it is easy for her master to become a somewhat dangerous person to her, especially even more so if they are opposite sex. Okay. Horny, yes. Dialogue example. A servant assassin. I beg your pardon for I'm not a Hassan. That's right. Furthermore, I'm sorry, but I'm unable to fight. Well, be most capable of breezing through it with Matahari's way, right? So let's go with that. Call me Matahari, master. Tsk. Are you okay? Fine, try to tell me everything. It's okay if the story I'm going to hear about is depressing, because I'm all be ready too. Let me hear a secret teach it only to you. Damn. Historical character. I can't. A female spy who suddenly and roaringly made a name for herself during the First World War. Margareta Gertrude Sell, also known as Matahari, was born as the eldest daughter of a wealthy household in Amsterdam. Should have been Leeuwarden instead. Okay, Leeuwarden, Netherlands. The lands of tulips and sea barricades. However, her happy days had a signal their end because of her parents' bankruptcy. After the breakup of her family, she made an effort to study under the guidance of a guardian as much as possible to become a kindergarten teacher. But because the school headmaster had a plain and middling affair with her, she was evicted by her guardian. That doesn't sound good. Thereafter, after her marriage and divorce, she debuted as the dancer Matahari in Paris. Matahari is the sun, the name standing for the eye of the day in the Malay language, and it seems to have been named as such by her employer, who was also pleased with her exotic appearance. Matahari shared a bed with a great number of people as not only a dancer, but as a harlot too. Some of her clients were foreigners who visited Paris, in which some of them being high-ranked military officers, politicians, etc. And it is believed that this time she was operating behind the scene as a spy. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that actually did. I mean, you know, that could be literally like she wasn't actually a spy, but they did that. Now she was that, but. You know, it's easy to just do. Regarding Matahari's spying activities, no clear evidence could be procured. At the time of being 41 years old, she was executed as a double agent of France as well as of Germany. However, both the French and the Germans who executed her did not particularly believe her to be a spy who extracted important intelligence, and it seems said that she was treated at most as somebody who sold secret information to some degree. Granted that, at any rate, France took advantage of this convenient situation and just pushed all the military failures onto Matahari. Oh man, you're a piece of shit. Due to their inept military operation, and also because a scapegoat was presented to them, she was accused for being a spy who had leaked information on France, and it resulted in the existence of Matahari being carved into history. There are various episodes that talk about Matahari, such as one where she claimed, "There's no man who could shoot me" at the time of her execution, as she became naked, her beauty causing those nearby to go crazy for her, so the shooters were blindfolded in order to avoid that. But those episodes were probably exaggerated as one would expect. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but then again, do not underestimate horny dudes. I'm just saying. And also, blindfolded them, I just imagine them like, aim! And then aim at each other without realizing, fire! Well, do we have a new squad? Was Mara truly a spy, or was it just a common secret informant broker? The original name of a beautiful woman trifled by fate has been completely forgotten, and although her usual stage name has become legend. Yeah. I mean, it sounds more like she at most sold information, because I assume that she was not meeting like, you know, the top of the top, so to speak, so she didn't really have that. But of course, they literally, if they wanted, they had the scapegoat. That's pretty much it, how stuff like this happen. They have a scapegoat, they put the blame on that person, and that's where to go. I don't like it, but that's how it is. Gosh. Still, I mean, most of the things I actually feel really bad and sad about her story. I mean, she really had it rough from the beginning, and then just tried to survive in a pretty messed up world and all of that. And of course, I mean, being literally scapegoated and then executed, like, damn. Connection with other characters. Budisha, being the type of that nature, Madhara is not able to have a particular close relationship with another servant. But among other things, she is relatively on good terms with Budisha, who arrived at an untimely death much like herself. Yeah, I could actually see that, you know? And also, it's kind of interesting how they literally take a character that is pretty much shafted in many ways and pair it up with Matahari that is not seen as much either. Though she did appear, of course, in Salem, which was really nice, actually. I'm really happy for that. I really love when they do add in more characters like this. And at least, unlike Budisha, that gets stomped on Nero, stomped by Nero every single time, Matahari at least get to be her own character. And, yeah, commented from the illustrator. You know, I agree that it would be nice if I drew an erotic elder sister. So I designed one as this dance and female spy. Her usual personality is full of positivity, so with that being the case, it does not make me have an impure feeling in design as such. Well, at first, it even looked like there was such a scene where she attacked with the clothes on her arm. Although I submitted various coloring plans for her, there was one among those rep plans where she has something like tan skin. For her character performance, although she is regarded as someone extraordinarily difficult to see, I feel happy since she has received numerous reports saying she had been raised up to her final ascension. Yeah, that's nice. And I'm okay with this erotic elder sister, and all of that. So, but okay, we're gonna see what Potato have to say. Damn, this profile leaves a lot out. Yeah, I kind of feel that as well. Interesting to know how good she would be evading enemies and gathering in a normal Grail war. Probably a somewhat annoying enemy to sniff. Yeah, I mean that is the thing. Reading about her skills and her MP, like goddamn. But obviously it doesn't really apply well in a game like Fate Grand Order that is so much based on, I mean, literally banging each other. Not like that, but, you know, blasting each other. I really like Matahari and can completely understand the illustrated comment regarding her design. I wish they dwelled more into her character. Well, it certainly did help a bit, they still need to get into more. Well, I agree on that. She's a real tragic character in both FGO and the era. Yeah, definitely. But if I look at some stuff up, while I think FGO mentioned in Salem that her children died of sickness. Not untrue. In news, it was discovered that they were also poisoned by their nanny as avenging against Matahari's husband for mistreating the nanny's husband. Only the son died, her daughter survived. She was separate from her daughter and never managed to see her again. Sad shit. Oh man. They give all love to Matahari. Yeah, I agree on that. I mean, yeah, I mean, it feels like, if it's not one of the more popular characters, they will be like, yeah, you don't get much information about them. Which I think is sad, because it's stuff like this where they really have potential to write out and explain even more depth about the characters and all of that. Especially since they are, like Matahari, I mean, was, you know, very real and wasn't that insane. I mean, it's not like Gilgamesh that was a myth from a couple of thousand years ago, pretty much, so to speak. This is like, yeah, from World First War and all that shit, the era. So, the only thing that I find a bit odd is like, oh, she's an elder teenager, like, what? That's probably the one, like, weird thing to me. But otherwise, I think Matahari is really, really interesting. As I said, her abilities is actually really insane. Though, of course, it doesn't transfer well into the game itself. But in a real Grey War, I do think that it would be really, really insane, actually. Because she can literally blend in and no one would know that she was an enemy and stuff like that. Like, really insane stuff. So that is actually really interesting. And in general, I do not mind Matahari at all, actually. Her design, obviously, I'm all for the sexy belly dancer style and all of that going on. It's okay for me, I'm all for that. And I do wish, though, that obviously that her abilities would probably work better in the game. I haven't used her too much, though, and I do know that she have a potential to do quite a lot of insane charming and stuff like that, so I need to try her out a bit more there. But yes, in general, I do like her. She's an interesting character, and I do say that kind of sad as well, in many ways, like how she's been treated and all of that. And I do wonder, though, that I would actually like to see more of this Matahari and many other characters. That is what I think is so important with the game, because they have the ability to make a character loved or hated, you know? If they use the character right, people will just fucking love the character, you know? It's gonna see more, it's gonna get accepted. But if you don't use the character, it will be like forgotten. There's just a few obscure people enjoying or liking the character and stuff like that. And that is what I kind of feel like, you know, when they're using like, for example, lots of Neros or something like that, because Nero is obviously super popular and all of that. Well, I can understand that because obviously people want Nero. That's the fact. But it also leaves out like the chance of many other characters that could and need a little bit of development and deserves it. Even if they are low stars, even if they're just 1, 2, 3 stars, they really deserve it, in my opinion. And yeah, so I need to level her up a little bit. I do think I have her maxed out, actually, but I just haven't used her really yet. So that's gonna happen at some point. And yeah, we're gonna go to the next one, which is Carmilla, the ultimate potato spook. You just got spooked by Carmilla, Yorokobe. Ah, yes. I remember all the comments from Potato raging like, not Carmilla, and all of that. I did actually get Carmilla for a while back now. I haven't really leveled her up yet, because I have so fucking many to level up. But yeah, I will say I do like Carmilla, especially compared to like her child form, I will say. And I mean, you don't get more goth than this, or like Castlevania. Dude, this is literally something you would see Belmont chasing down and try to whip. That sounds kind of kinky, actually, when I think about it, but I do like... she doesn't really show much of expression, actually, when thinking about it. Like, especially up there, it's a very subtle changes. But seriously, I mean, her outfit is like pretty bonkers, actually. And the Iron Maiden, just the idea of the Iron Maiden, actually, people that were tortured in those things, it is fucking horrifying. It's, oh god, how are we so good at finding ways to not only kill but torturing us as well? God damn. Assassin Carmilla Elizabeth Bathory, Hungary, because she's hungry. Chaotic Evil 168, 49 kilos. Atsuko Tanaka, voice actor. Or I mentioned also Medea and Jinki. Oh, man. I'm happy you remind me, because I already forget that. I'm sorry, but there are so many voice actors and so many voices and stuff like that that I forget. What are you doing, Tifa? Yeah? Strength D, Constitution D, Agility A. Damn, that is high agility. Magical Power C, Luck D, Noble Fantasy B. Be aware. Present Concealment. Low rank of presence concealment that is uncommon for an assassin. It is at that level where if it's a servant, they can sense one present at once. Her territory was vast, and therefore her murders were not discovered for a long time. That sounds like a bad thing. I just feel that, you know. Personal skills. Torturing. Technique A. Plus modifier added to attacks when making use of torture device. Because its strength of bloodshed and agony, further damage continued to be added for a while after the usual damage is dealt. Although the skill is of the same rank, she has accumulated far more experience since the time when she was young. Why don't add a plus then, like A plus or something? A plus plus. You know what I'm saying? Blood sucking, recovered by bathing blood. Although she is close of wrong impression, her skin has certainly rejuvenated. Ugh, God. Ugh, just the idea of bathing in blood is fucking nasty. Oh God, it gets sticky and it's weird, and you probably get all sorts of weird diseases and. Ugh. I mean, when you think about it, that blood have been in the body. It had been, if you take the blood from it too, it's been in their dick. You got dick blood on you. You're bathing in dick blood. Or is it a pussy blood? You're bathing in pussy blood. Oh no. I don't know what happened there. But it is actually, when I think about it. I mean, when you see like an anime stuff like that, it looks like red water. But when you think about it, it is actually really nasty. Ugh. And someone that have been near lots of blood at time, it smells very strong as well. Like, yeah. Phantom Maiden, Phantasmal Iron Maiden. Like the band. Famous torture tools said to have been used by Elizabeth Bathory, although, as a result of an investigation that spanned over a long period of time, investigation had come to the conclusion that it did not exist. Nonetheless, there are many who believe in the existence of this torture device, so it has been esteemed as an exquisite noble phantasm that kills innocent maidens while they are filled with fear. Dude, I think anyone would feel fear to be pushed into one of these. Floating above Carmilla's head, screams of the target are heard while the Iron Maiden is filled with their blood the moment it's closed shut. It is a recovery of health and attack being used together. In the case of female servant, damage is increased. Yay! Sucks to be a woman! I mean, think about it. You have Carmilla, you have Jack, and I'm pretty sure there's some more. That is just literally like to murder women. So that is good that we have Blackbeard, that is the opposite of all that. And give love to the ladies. See what I did there? Personality, every factor of her life, such as her livelihood as a noble that spanned over many years, her contempt toward human except for those who are the fellow blood relative due being hardened by them, and so for all push the former Elizabeth into a killer who seeks the bizarre. Haughty, proud, and concessful, her body is coiled around with her vanity. It is like sulfur acid turning into human foil. Oh shit. If one touches her, all fine things will inflame immediately. Nani? Wait, what? And yet stupidity exists at her root. If one puts it in another way, it's even possible to say that Carmilla has faint goodness with her that just is on the verge of barely stopping her audacity. Excuse me, she's like sulfur acid? Cool. Natural Carmilla is clearly evil. She will betray the master and she will even embrace the recognition of being called a traitor. But still, if she does not go as far as to serve them, if it's a problem master with a bottomless goodness, one who is aware and furthermore accept her past, in that case she will appear to become willingly cooperative. No, you know, it is kind of, I will say, if you, but naturally Carmilla is clearly evil, like, I mean, that doesn't really say much about the character. Okay, what is the character? What is the personality? Evil. Do you mean like they go around murdering people? Are you meaning that they are kicking dogs? Are you meaning that they have large corporation and draining the nations of all the materials and all of the resources? Kind of evil. I mean, evil is a very broad spectrum. You know, it's not just like you could explain a little bit more. I'm pretty sure, did they have like a ton for Elizabeth Bathory? I would be, yeah, I think they had that, right? I wouldn't be surprised though. I mean, yeah, I guess because waifu. Okay, you make a pleasant cry. If you don't mind, can you let me hear it more for when we return to the castle? I hate myself. I abhor myself. Listen, as a matter of fact, I'm sure you also hear the same answer if you ask me. What? Not going to touch me? Not. I say the same. Not going to. What? I feel like if I do that in many ways than once, I will die. I will be murdered. Really murdered. Elizabeth Bathory's figure changed into the Blood Countess, though her legend being circulated. Unlike Elizabeth, there is still room for correction in her, although there is no room for forgiveness. A cruel system through and through, unmistakably an anti-hero. If circumstances originally allowed her to be summoned, it would probably be the Dark Killer at the same level as her. That sounds cruel. The Irish author Sheldon Le Fanu wrote Carmilla in the year 1872. Languid, the female vampire Carmilla possesses charming beauty in some respects, and this novel provided great influence for Bram Stoker's Dracula as well. Oh, I didn't know that. So, wait, so Carmilla was actually before Dracula? Damn. And one can conclude that the person who became the model for Carmilla is her, Elizabeth Bathory. Elizabeth Bathory has an antics of giving somebody the impression of her as a fine sovereign. Although even the meager but Carmilla's current state tore off that influence. Elizabeth is obtaining some power of the dragon kind to her innocent monster skill. But even that was lost to Carmilla taking the form of a complete vampire. Furthermore, Elizabeth hates that she is married with Carmilla despite being identical existence. Elizabeth thinks I mustn't become like her, and if it's viewed from Carmilla's perspective, Elizabeth is from the figure of her glory in her absolute intolerant youth. To speak of it simply, if it's viewed from Elizabeth's side, it is such an incomplete thing that can't grow accustomed to being that sort of idol. It's not my future self and should just drop dead. And this view from Camilla's side is my former self was wonder if she should wake up or not from her foolish dream that seemingly sells on dark history such a being idol should go to hell. Well, aren't that charming? But yeah, that is the thing I find obviously a little weird that I do know Elizabeth Bathory is counted as evil, but they do explain a lot about her personality and stuff like that. But when it comes to Carmilla, it's like, yeah, she's evil. They don't even try to like go in more to explain a little bit more, which I think is a little bit. It's a bit of a shame actually, because I think that, as said, it's like saying that person is good, but why is this person good? This person is evil. Yeah, okay, but why is it evil? You know? And of course, as always when it comes to good and evil, it's very subjective, not to mention. That is why many characters can be very interesting, because while they might do an evil act, might not be seen as completely evil, depending on how you look at it, etc. etc. And my thumb started to hurt. Ow. It was the thumb that I got stuck in a drill a couple years ago when I had a cast in my hand. I'm not sure why. Why do you start to hurt right now? What the fuck? Oh well. But yeah, so I think that it's a bit of a shame actually that they don't explain more. Like, at least can try, in my opinion. Elizabeth, needless to say, Vladfrey, you made me laugh at you doing things such as denying vampires. Isn't it thanks to that vampire that you are here? I guess. Since I comment from illustrators, since the Iron Maiden was set as a noble phantom, I designed her in a sadistic image to match up with that. In her final ascension, I chose a scene that emphasized insanity in humanity. It was very difficult to make her crinoline-like armor. Given that I love characters that typical queens, I will accept drawing her even though I was going to suffer doing so. That sounds like most artists I know, you know, when they accept something like, and then the suffering begins. And yeah, okay, we're gonna see what potatoes say. I will be honest, this profile made me legitimately confused. I can't actually understand if it's said at certain points, so can maybe only accept a mass if they are Mary Sue, hyperbole enough to accept it past, but not necessarily forgive it. Yeah, that's a bit odd. Then it says that unlike Elizabeth, there's still room for correction but not forgiveness, so I can assume that Liz is the other way around. There's no room for correction, but there's room for forgiveness. Of course, assuming unlike Elizabeth means that Carmilla and her exact opposite in that regard. Yeah, that sounds a bit odd actually when I think about it. Honestly, it sounds a bit confusing to me, but perhaps it will make sense to someone else in the comments, so feel free to help me out here, lol. Why do I say that, lol? This was pretty short, expected more from it, to be honest. Again, sort of, yeah, I do agree. It feels like it's short, but especially, you can't really use the defense that, well, they wrote a lot to Elizabeth Bathory because they're such complete different characters. This is not like Yonrei Steno that are so similar, it's kind of painful almost. But here we talk about two just vastly different characters. And I think like they could try. That is why I think it's like with Mata Hari and all of that. I think it's a shame that they don't go in more depths and all that. It feels, I will say, it feels much that many times the amount of text and information you get is based on how popular the characters are. Which is probably the case and makes sense, because, you know, oh, Nero, oh yeah, that's smacking as much information as possible. Mata Hari, I'm pretty sure just 5% of the player base know who she is. Pretty much. But, and I do think that is a little bit sad, I will say. I would love to read more about them. And not only the legends, but the characters they are in Fate Grand Order and Fate General. Because I do like Carmilla way more than Elizabeth Bathory, I will say that. And I think she could be an interesting character, but I feel like, oh, she's evil, she's torturous, and that's pretty much it. You know? Unlike Elizabeth Bathory, where they actually try to make her a more appealing and interesting character, even with these traits. You know? That's why I'm feeling like when they do these one-trick ponies kind of characters, like Blackbeard being a weeb, and I realize now that some of the text around the frame is gone. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh well, whatever. My stuff is breaking down. But yeah, so I feel like it is a shame they don't work more on these. I would love that actually. But otherwise, Carmilla is a pretty okay character in my book. I haven't used her too much either. Borrowed her a couple of times, stuff like that. So, and also, didn't she get an animation update that was pretty neat, if I don't remember wrong? Which I think is just really nice. I'm always happy with that. Think like that. But yes, I will be back though with more FGO Thirstday next week. And once again, thank Potato for helping these happen. And also, I think I still really like the comments you leave, because I think it's interesting, because you're bringing your thoughts to the table. So yes, in the end, I think they are good characters. I just wish they got a little bit more, you know, little bit more love, so to say. But yes, I will be back though next week, so thank you for watching, see you later on, and have a continued super great day.